God, dude. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How's it going? Welcome in. Hope everybody's having a fabulous day. I hope you're waking up and embracing this beautiful sunshine that brings us life and love every. Today's positive affirmation is I am building my future. A good one, especially for this channel. Are certainly building. Hey, 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 HK! I like that. And we're gonna keep that up. Hey, 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 HK! Good morning. Well, good evening to those of you. Channel HK lives on the other side of the planet than me. Like literally 12 hours the other direction. Crazy. Talk about technology bringing us all together. If there is one thing I am, it's punny. I'm good with the dad jokes. That man. So I used to get an app that was subscribed to daily dad jokes. I really need to. So yes, indeed. We've got the morning garden tour up already on YouTube. It's got 3 likes already. Yay! I will say that my garden tube videos are doing quite well. I'll flop over to that. Garden tour. Like, there's not a whole lot going on with the garden right now.
Empty greenhouse.
I just put in the peppers yesterday.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes are establishing themselves. They are growing. The cucumbers are struggling. I have already lost 4 of the 12 plants I put in.
Tomatoes.
Background music's a bit loud.
Cucumbers. Empty greenhouse. Peppers.
Better?
Tomatoes. Cucumbers. Empty greenhouse.
I don't know if you need the over. I only made 1 this morning. I guess I did actually make 2. I saw this one yesterday, and I was like, look at this kid behind Trump. Like, Trump's not the point here. Like, what is this kid doing behind Trump? I was watching this on Kimmel last night, and this whole video, this kid is just standing behind Trump making faces, and this guy's like, oh my god, we're gonna be on TV with this dumb ass next to me. I don't know who this guy is. Fuck that. Oh god, the camera's looking right at like this guy. This is the true star of the show. I thought I took a... Oh, there you go. This is the flower tour. My mother thinks that people will like to see the flowers. And they will get very, very pretty. Spring. That whole bank there is just full bloom in summer. There's always that one person who's never been on... Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy is definitely only here to troll Trump. Like, it's probably why he got that spot behind him in the... Because, I mean, if you watch the whole video, he's doing stupid stuff the whole time. And if you look at the crowd while Trump is giving this speech, they look so bored. Just like, they must be paid to be there. Probably want more paid people. They all look so bored. They're not even paying attention to what he's saying. They're having little side conversations. Like, I love watching the crowds at Trump rallies because they're crazy. There's a beautiful little water feature in the hillside. I should probably get a better picture of tomorrow, maybe. That I didn't. That I think my license. Take it down if my license. Nope, never got the license plate. Yeah. There's our affirmation generator. I'm building. Twitch Arch. See, like, it says I'm not able to pin my own message thing. Oh yeah. But I can pin HKs. There you go. Thanks, friend. Oh, so you can pin stuff from me, probably? I feel like I should have made you an ad time ago, and I feel like that could be a thing. There. Now modded. I believe that has let you do. Now I can see your pin. Pinned it. There you go. Love that. And you can ban people now. There's ever jerks in the chat, you can just kick them out. Thank you. I think I've asked till Silver if he wanted that option. And no, the responsibility. I'm like, fair enough. So if you don't like it, by all means, I can take it. I feel like you're here every day anyway. Might as well be. Maybe he's mad at me from yesterday. I shouldn't downplay it. Mad at me. Final Fantasy. It's a good game. Go play Final Fantasy. I mean, really, I do recommend if you've not played it to play it. And I'm kind of sad that it gets old for me. Talking to Bat Coaster, where he just hangs out in the game. And they got venues and dance. I've just never gotten into the social aspect, really. I guess other than you guys, but that's like, I'd be more likely to. So I can abuse power. I'm not sure what you can do with this power. Like, if you do something that I don't like, I'm sure I'll get a notification or know who did it because you're the only other moderator. And remember, with great power comes great responsibility. When I start talking about crazy things, you just gotta be like, oh, Sean's gone off the rails. Marijuana has kicked in and he's gone off the rails. Also, I haven't officially mod for any streamer, so I have about the same knowledge as you. I'm surprised. I feel like you're on Twitch a great deal, right? Twitch is probably your YouTube. I spent so much time on it. And I was so excited this morning because my own video showed through my own feed. I don't know why they've never done that for me before, but when I was just flipping through and one of my videos came up, I was like, oh yay! I am more of a lurker. I mean, I feel like a lot of people on Twitch are lurkers. That's like, it's... Aw. I think that's how streams get started, I want to assume. Is that everybody becomes my friend. I'm pretty sure the first 100 subscribers, well, I guess maybe to like my first 100 followers, I know, talk to. I wouldn't say I know in person, but I have met or talked to in the streaming. Dog is outside today and he's unhappy about it. And I don't feel like getting up to get it to let him in. Because I'd have to unplug my headphone. Be alright. I think he's gotten to the point where he thinks that every time he comes... I usually keep the treats in here. It's one every morning. It's like, hey, thanks for keeping guard last night. Like, I appreciate you still being here in the morning, like a dog that does not have a fence. Yeah, but I feel that there's a huge gap between chat and friends, so you kind of have to treat them separately. I mean, fair. I follow the streamer for RimWorld. Alex, I'd have to look. He does these like 10 to 15 hour long streams, and the other day he was streaming on both YouTube and Twitch and had like 2,500 people each chat. Those kind of things, I have never understood the appeal of why somebody would sit in chat with just constant scrolling of chat. It's just constantly scrolling through chat with that many people chatting. I'm like, how do you read any of that? Like, I can't even keep up with the chat, much less trying to determine who's in there. But there are filters for like my side that I can like turn it on to just followers or just subscribers, or I can do like whatever. Like you have that special badge for the first, like the founder thing. So yours is gonna be, and now you're a mod, so all your messages will always be on the top of the list. In my channel, at least. I obviously can't promise for others. That would be cool. Like, oh, here's a mod on somebody else's channel. Preferential treatment. Be cool. Bitch, you should work on that. Give another perk to someone else being a mod. The power. I don't know what you feel about the power. I don't know. Everybody who's a dog lover out there, remember that I'm training my dog. Just like your baby, you gotta let your baby cry sometime. Sometimes you gotta let your doggy bark. He needs to know that I am the master. And just because he barks outside of my door does not mean I'm gonna get up and let him in. He's been in here several times. I have fed, watered, brushed, bathed, cleaned. Like, the dog has been taken care of. And now he's just like, oh, we went outside? I would like to do that again. I want to come back inside. The pampered again. I feel like the dog thinks that happens every time. Which, to be fair, I mean, I always rub the dog. What's the point of having a dog if you can't rub the fur? He's getting trimmed this, like, next week, I think. And I'll definitely put some before and afters of the dog, because he's adorable. And the transformation is crazy, because he's long-haired, but we shave him completely in the summer because it's hot, and then let it grow back over the summer. But then by the time the winter rolls back around, he's completely it has his winter coat for winter. But right now, he's dying. Like, he's outside just because he's still wearing that winter coat. Like, yesterday it was 86 degrees outside. Not to mention, he's a fat boy. Like, my doggy's so fat. And, we try to cut that out. We really do, but oh no, HK's been given unlimited power. I would give it to you, but you told me not to, so I didn't. If you would like to be able to pin messages and block people, let me know and I'll add it to you. Oh my god, the power. That would be funny. That's just what we were talking about. Like, if my stream ever gets to, like, a huge number of people, that would be something that I would want people to. I imagine there must be bots and spam or all kinds of things to get into huge streamer land. How's Mr. Silver this morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back. Oh, do y'all hear the dog? He sounds so pathetic. He's like, why can't I be inside? It's a beautiful day. It's really hot in here. Y'all spend too much time together. Do y'all still play games a lot? Are y'all still Final Fantasy BFFs? Oh, that's funny. I was super early this morning. Whatever reason, I woke up naturally like 6 o'clock. I was sitting here waiting to hit the go live button on stream. I even went a little early because I was like, might as well, why not? That'll get me live together. I love days that I'm a little early. 8 being behind. I'm so sorry, Silver. What are you spending your time on, Silver? I need a new game. I am going to buy Manor Lords when it comes out, but that was basically the same thing as Furthest Frontier, but more 3, but more graphic-y. See how that works. Excited to play the new Z coming out. Okay. Wait, Dawnbreaker's coming out Thursday? That snuck up on me real quick. Magic the Gathering. I used to play. I feel like we've talked about this on stream before. I used to play like real life, honest to goodness Magic the Gathering with physical cards. Don't forget to tap your mana. I bet you're a min-maxer, aren't you? Like you want to play like the perfect set every time, right? I played one time where I took all of my Magic the Gathering cards and I'll select, I think, what is it, like 500, I think. I forget what the maximum deck count is, but I just went through and picked randomly out of them all the cards I owned. It's a pretty fun deck. I'm going. Oh, the yokai event. I remember that happened, and Dr. Faustus just mad armed that whole thing, like stayed up for days in a row to get all the weapons. Like, do you have a therapist? You started at the last yokai event? I thought it was just a lot of senseless grinding. A lot of fake grinding. But I don't know what they... Obviously, it could be different this time. But last one I recall being a lot of fake grinding. And they weren't even like the good fates. They were like... Rowdy! I didn't mean to blow your eardrum now. I mean... Some days the dog has to be... Don't send me. Also the web. I mean, yeah, and they were cool graphically. They were very cool graphically, I think. And I'll say that Final Fantasies are very pretty. They've put a lot of time and effort into it. Have y'all ever played Teamfight Tactics? That's auto chess. I want to say it's kind of like card collecting, but pieces instead of cards. Every time TFT resets the set, it's a whole new game. You have to practice every time they release a new set. You have no idea what is good and what's bad until you play and figure it out. Well, I mean, I guess I'm sure you could. There's some streamer out there somewhere who has done it. I sat there and played the 100 hours straight through from beginning to end. I'm starting to think that video games are my real true addiction. Because I'm all like, oh, I'm out of books, but I'm not stressed out about that. But I'm really out of video games that drive me to want to play. And that kind of disturbs me. But maybe that just means I'm growing up. I mean, like, I've been through so many life changes in my life now that who I was 5 years ago is not the same person I am today. And I'm glad for that. I hope to perpetually grow and change. Is that because you play English video games? Like, I wonder if I should start playing other language. So is it reading and then helps you listen to it and that's how you pick it up? I think that's just, you're just so incredibly smart. I would not say that everybody could do that. That makes sense. Asian video game, probably not that common. I bet there are some. You could probably find some indie games. The addiction level is on many things. But again, we're back to our positive affirmation of I am building future, because we are sitting here right now. Make sure you check out the YouTube videos. That'll help. Like, subscribe, and follow to the channel. That will also help me. Cost you nothing if you follow on Twitch or subscribe on the YouTube. Not to mention, you can see more of my videos. I like, give me the dopamine. Hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. It makes me happy. Please. There are Malaysian game devs, but even they are most often English, because the companies are based in English-speaking countries. That's where all the money is, which seems a little bit skewed. Basically, every step we take or not take will count towards it. Absolutely. Every day you wake up, you're building towards something. If you got up and made your bed, you are building toward bed tomorrow. Ash just down my collar. Good times, good times. So today's agenda, I need to charge the Freon in my air conditioner. Pray for me on that one. I have never done that before, and I'm using videos to figure out how to do it. Go. I also have to put the marijuana seedling to Rockwool Cube. That'll be fun. That'll be so fun. I also probably need to start trimming less of this marijuana because the tomatoes are getting out of control. Hydroponics. So there's that. But other than that, we're just watching plants grow at this point. Farming is a lot of hard work, but it's definitely a hurry up and wait type scenario. The hurrying up and waiting part, maybe it's not even hurrying up, it's a lot of waiting. Because, I mean, like, you put in seeds and you wait for a week. You put in things and wait for a week. Put in planted pots into the ground, actual plants into the ground, and then you wait like a month. And you might start to see some flowers. Then you wait another month and you might get some fruit. And then it's harvest, 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 harvest. Oh yeah, totally. I miss the nature. Like, I lived in the city for a long time. And not even like one of those green cities. Like, I don't know, Virginia's pretty nice about the cities. We have a lot of really, with the respect to the green spaces and the native landscaping. A lot of pretty cities. But I mean, I've visited many in like Chicago and New York and LA. They're just concrete wastelands. Not even trees. And a lot of the cities that Virginia has, you would not consider cities. Like, DC's not in Virginia. I don't count DC because it's a concrete wasteland. And, like, our capital, Richmond, pretty city. Scary downtown. But the suburbs around it, like the VCU area, pretty historic. Like, it's got those, like, old architecture buildings. Oh, Dawn Trail. I need a new game. Banner Lords doesn't come out until the 26th. But I have a whole lot, like, I'm going to be very busy. I'm sorry, at the end, yeah. April, at the end of April and into May, I'm going to be very busy. So, maybe I shouldn't pick up a new game because I'm, like, addicted. You know, like, it's nice to have something to want to come home to. I can't wait to get back and play that video game that maybe that's a key to life, is you're outside and you're like, I'm really trying to enjoy being me. I'm back on the body journey, so protein shake and coffee day. This is number 2. I need 3 of these a day to get the protein level. They say you're supposed to have 60 to 70 grams of protein every day, and I can't just do that off just like chicken breast. Like I don't know who in the world can just eat that many chicken or eat that much meat sitting. We talk about 60 to 70 grams of just pure protein. It's a lot of meat. So protein shakes. I'm using this shaker, but not the protein company. I bought this on Amazon, and it was they basically were like laundry pods, but filled with protein. So the protein like the laundry pods were like dissolving in your glass, and it made this weird like viscosity thing. So like it was gross. I do not recommend this brand of protein powder. I use Sin 6, but my problem with that is they send these huge jugs, and then I'm like, what do I do with these huge-ass plastic jugs after I'm done with them? I used one as a flower pot, and it wasn't a good flower pot because it didn't have any kind of ventilation, and it was the whole thing. Not a great flower pot. And I think the red... Oh my god, why are you timing out him? Are you, Have you given... I'm glad you're having fun. Glad you're having fun. Now you know, and knowing it's half the battle. Go, Joe. That's stupid. Of course, now I completely forgot what we were talking about. Does that mean you got bored? You were figuring out how to, like, click buttons? It's gonna be an indicator that HK's bored clicking on stuff. Fair enough. It's probably, what time do you normally get up, HK? Also, I love the emote. By the way, if you're not a subscriber, you don't get access to those, but you can be. And like if you have Amazon Prime, you can do it for free and give me the money instead of Jeff Bezos. Like 8 a.m., which is my 8 p.m. And I'm usually winding down for bed by 8 p.m. because I'm usually in bed by 9. And winding down for me is usually sitting here playing League of Legends, getting stoned. Because people with ADHD don't sleep, they pass out. I've been kind of sort of talking to this fella online who I met through Facebook dating, and we might finally meet. But we've been talking for so long, I may have forgotten what he looked like. Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter. I must have found him attractive at the beginning. Well, unless I'm being scammed. Have you seen the John Oliver special where they talk about the people who get scammed for sites? I was totally like, so I'm on tons of dating sites like Tinder, Grindr, Facebook Dating, Hinge, all the dating sites, and you're forever getting catfished. Like it's usually hot Asian dudes, which is totally my type, and you say hi, they say hi, they get to the point where they exchange like phone numbers, and then they try to get you to invest in cryptocurrency. And apparently, well, like, I know cryptocurrency is a scam to begin with. Like, not stupid, cryptocurrency is a scam. Like, Sam Bankman-Fried went to jail for it. They just haven't caught the rest of them. But anywho, the whole point with the dating scam thing is that these people that are trying to get you to invest in crypto scheme have been human trafficked and are like sitting on an island somewhere in the Pacific being forced to make you fall in love with some fake Tinder profile. I mean, it was really mind-blowing, and John Oliver did it best. It's on YouTube, you can search for it. But I was just blown away by that information. You're like, I always wondered what they were getting out of that. But I mean, you're talking about like there's lots of people on these dating sites that have gotten convinced. I mean, like CEOs of banks or like lawyers and like people with documented stuff. Just like this is what happens. But our legal protections here in the United States do not extend to foreign countries. So I mean, like, what are you gonna do when somebody's sucked all your money away in some other foreign country that's like a third world principality, not even like really a country that's most of their money comes from making scams in the US. They're not going to enforce that. Like, you can't just go over there and make them give you your money back in America anymore. We're not, that's not kosher. We don't blow people up for money anymore. It's not openly. But yeah, that's a very scary situation. So this guy could very well be a scam. I mean, like, he hasn't tried to sell me anything. He tells me he lives in a specific place. He tells me what he does for a living. We chit chat, but right. I mean, like, we can try. We can certainly like embargo them. We can certainly. I mean, like, but they're stealing our money in the first place. So I don't know if it's really like an embargo is really gonna like help. That was sad. I was really sad. Just like all these people have been being awful to, because like if you know it's a scam and somebody gets your number and you're like, oh, it's a scam, and they keep talking to you, I see why people would be awful to them. But then you're like, this person's probably getting beaten because they're not making their quota on suckers from America. Like, that changes the perspective on the whole. At least I won't be mean to them anymore. It's a scam. Maybe I'll start asking when they scam me, like, do you need help? Like, can I send an aid? Like, I saw the John Oliver special. Are you a scammer? Like, have you been human trafficked? Are you okay? Tell me your location and GPS coordinates, and I'll send it to somebody. Somebody out there. I volunteer for a national aid organization. I could probably get them to come find you. I don't know if my organization would intervene because their mandate is to help human suffering in a disaster. So I don't know if human suffering is a disaster, but there's plenty of partners. I'm sure we can find somebody to come in. If you're watching my channel and you need aid, put it in the chat. Somebody will help you. If you're out there desperate and alone and you are watching Twitch for company, need a rescue, put it in the chat. I'll find somebody to help. Alert, right? You know me, could talk to a fence post in the dark, have fun on your errand. Oh, just in time for ads. Perfect time. Again, thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks. Don't forget to check out the stuff on the YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow if you haven't already done. If you want to see something else on the channel, put that in the chat, put it in the comments if you're watching this later on YouTube. I look at them. swear. If they're hateful, I will not respond. Otherwise, I probably will. So know that if you don't get a response or a like from me, your comment was hateful. Even if it was like, good job, I'd be like, oh, you're patronizing me. Just kidding. JK. Oh, so, today in the news, anybody keeping up with Donald Trump and his court cases? Still falling asleep? Looks like they've gotten 6 jurors so far out of the 18 they need. I think it's going to be really, really hard for them to find anybody who doesn't know what's going on in the Trump trial right now. He's like the most famous person on the planet. I watch British TV a lot on YouTube. Like, I love the Taskmaster and Cat 8s. And you're like, they make jokes about Donald Trump. Channel hype. Thanks. Apparently there is 2 hype train mechanics. I doubt hype trains would work with it, but maybe one. Maybe one. I'm not sure what triggers the hype mechanic. No, we all live, we all learn. That's all we can say. Learn. We are building our future for tomorrow, right? I have some Gen X friends and family are very defeatist. Like, I have a friend the other day who was like, I'm not gonna vote in the election. Let the world burn. And then I'm like, but you wonder why other people feel that way. I mean, I feel like people who are voting for Trump are people who are that mentality of like, let's just let the world burn. And it's just a startling no. But as I keep telling all my existential friends here in America, don't worry, humanity's gonna be fine. America might not be, but humanity's gonna be fine. Like, Europe's doing pretty good things. Like, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in Brazil. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in Israel-Palestine situation, the Ukraine, Middle East, but... Oh. 5 ads. Can't hear you. Really? 5 ads? Holy cow. So I guess there is some kind of hype combo thing. Maybe it's the hype emote. Sure. I'm surprised there's 5 ads. Not sure that I can change that. Because it only plays the ads at exactly the minimum required. Say your ad minutes, 3 minutes per hour. That's enough to prevent. Set up on a schedule. Because this part of the stream always gets pre-rolls, like the first 5 minutes I'm in here, always gets pre-rolled there for some reason. And you get the first block, and then I get a half-hour block with nothing, and currently 5 ads, and then another half-hour block of nothing to get to 3 minutes. You know, gotta play the algorithm. There's the constant algorithm. I really feel like there's gonna be a religion in like 5 years of all hail the algorithm. The algorithm is Lord and Jesus Savior. I feel like it's gonna be some cult somewhere with algorithm as their Lord and Savior. Because remember, we're in a simulation. in the deep thought mind. Simulated. I play too many like settlement building games, and the other day I'm out there planting my peppers, and I'm thinking, is there a giant human being or type thing in space just like looking at me being like, why is this trucker not planting these fields faster? Why does it one guy need all, like, this one guy can't get all this work done in one day? And I'm like, oh, what if we are all just Sims in some super advanced alien? Can't disprove it. What if reincarnation is spawning? Have you ever read any lit RPG books? My personal favorite is by Alaron Kong. I cannot think of the name of the series, but that's the author. And I want to say he was the first, he claims to be first lit RPG. And it's basically like a person gets transported some way, shape, fashion, or form into a digital world that's like video game, like MMORPG, level up and skill up. There's a whole bunch of books in the genre now. Like, there's one where there's an asteroid coming to Earth, and they digitize as much of humanity as they can digitize and put them into geothermal powered servers in the planet's core. Keep the human race alive, but they're put into a developed video game. Like, they had like the mastermind of this whole plan was a VR, like a video game creator. When they found out they were going to get hit by an asteroid, that was their solution, was to put them all into a rest of civilization occurred after that. It's a pretty cool genre. Like MMORPGs and fiction books. I mean, they're told from the perspective of a story with the mechanics of a video game, which kind of gets tedious in audiobook form sometimes, because they start like pull up stat pages, and in an audiobook they have to read like the whole stat page. And I kind of wish they would just be like, oh, it's very clear that my strength has gone up immensely, or like, you know, whatever the purpose was for showing the stats off in the first place, then why don't you just summate that instead of making it a chart? But I guess a lot of people want to keep up with the actual numbers and probably roll dice on the side to see if their stats would be better. I don't even know. I don't even know why, but certainly is a lot of good books out there. Brandedly Ghost Town's another one. It's the same genre. And I forget. Oh, his origin story was that the planet, like, they just woke up one morning and started seeing stuff in their eyes about the system. It's like, welcome to the system. Your planet is the newest member of the system. You are about to be and he wakes up and the world is a video game from then on out. Like, the whole planet has been randomized and everything's been scattered about, and there's creatures running around the cities, but they've all been moved. So like he looks at his front door and like the Eiffel Tower's there, but he's an American guy, and it's like, whoa, why is this suddenly here? Because the whole world just got shook up like a snow globe, and everybody landed where they landed, and ensued. Level 1, welcome to the game. And then I'm on like book 7 or 8. He's gone through some things. The main character of that one starts off, it's like super hard dungeon that just because randomly he landed there, and managed to survive long enough to get saved by somebody, and it's a good story. You should check it out. Before I give you the whole story. But I mean, 13 books. Good luck. It'll take me a long time to get through it. I read a lot. I'm one of those people who probably listens to audiobooks more than all my workouts, all the chainsaw, and time my headphones are on, it's usually an audiobook. So I do say read, but I mean, I listen to a great deal of but I'm not sure the difference is. I have absorbed the knowledge of the book, regardless of how it got there. I could retell you the story. I could write a book report on it. Like, if audiobooks existed when I was in high school, I probably would have gotten much better grades. Because I could have. You can even get a text message, like the textbooks on audio now. And I have always been an auditory. I hear everything. I process everything through my hearing. So it's just been a better way for me to learn stuff. Like YouTube changed my life, where I can visually watch somebody do something, listen to them explain it, and then replay the part I don't understand as many times as I want to, without having to be annoying. Someone I love. I wish there were some more like official channels that were like, this has been fact checked. Because there's too many willy-nilly people putting stuff out there that could be crazy. Burn down your house if you do A, B, and C. Like, there has to be some basic fact checking, some basic knowledge of certain items. And like, I was raised very well in that sense. Like, my dad and mother, like my mom taught me everything I need to know about home economics and cooking and keeping and sewing and, you know, that kind of stuff. And dad taught me everything I need to know about like farming, auto mechanics, and machines, and electricity, and framing, cutting lumber, and using power tool. Like, it makes me a more well-rounded individual. But I'm not the master of any of those tasks like my mother and father were. My dad could take apart an engine in his sleep. I could do it, but it would take me a long time. And it would probably take me a whole bunch of Googling and looking up stuff. Like, where the f? Like, I can only imagine how much cussing would be involved in part of an engine at this stage. But dad did it for fun. Or like sewing. I made a whole quilt when I was working for Dish Network. I was sitting on the phone calls. Thank you for calling the Dish Network. How can I help you? And doing quilting while doing that for 5 years. Could never do that now. And Mama makes a quilt like once a week or something. Like, it took me 5 years to make one. So, jack of all trades, master of none, is often better than a master of one, is my life motto. I know a little bit about everything. No. I couldn't. The amount of things that I can do that my mom and dad can't do, mind-boggling. Like anything to do with computers or technology in a shape or form, they were obsolete. I guess dad was, mom is. Because, I mean, but my parents aren't awful. Like, my mom files taxes and stuff online, so she's not completely technologically inept, but try to get her to do something like stream something or use Teams call or video chat. No. I bought her first smartphone like 4 or 5 Christmases ago, and I finally upgraded her phone for this most recent Christmas to like cheapest one, and she's finally getting into her phone a little more. But then on the flip side, as much as I'm addicted to my phone, why did I give my mother? I know how addicted they are. Drug addict giving somebody who's never tried it before. Take a sniff. Love it. But you need it for everything. I mean, we learned that in COVID, that if you don't have a smartphone, you can't do nothing. Like, you're supposed to be able to order online, you gotta pay your bill online, you gotta use NFTs or whatever. Like, there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. Not NFTs. What's the blippy thing? You're like, bleep. What? I don't know what we're calling that. Apple Pay, Google Pay. Whoops. I activated my assistant there. Do you ever wonder how Snoop Dogg smokes so much and coughing It's it does sometimes make me want quality of Renee. Because this is crap stuff that I'm smoking. Old, right out. That's why I'm smoking. I feel like if you sell it for a living, you have to keep the good stuff for yourself. Not that I do that. I haven't actually produced any good stuff yet, so... This first batch will be first that I produce with an effort to sell. But I'm still stuck. I don't know. Have I told you the story about Governor? Like, we were supposed to go legal January of 25, but the governor vetoed that particular. So it's currently decriminalized here. I think I'm just gonna gift people and then take donations for my profit. I mean, I kind of want to call, like, start a non-profit that's ganja for good. It's just, you know, a group of local weed growers who donate part of their profits to, ganja. Would be a fun non-profit, right? Get together after work and smoke up a joint instead of drinking out to death. Better to me. Better to me. And I wake up the whole next morning completely clear-headed and no hangover, so I don't know what side to that. I guess I know the downside is you smoke too much, you get depressed. Smoke too much, you develop a cough. But Snoop's managed to do it, and you don't see him coughing all over everywhere. I've seen him on talk shows and stuff. Isn't he like 70 now? How old is Snoop? He's 52 years old. Damn. I hope I never run into Snoop in real life. Probably badass than I could ever be. But he has not aged. I mean, he's probably lived a rough life. But he did not live way older. And I've never met him in person, so that might also change were I to meet him. Looking at the images, like, he looked old before he was old. Oh my god, this picture of him and Martha? What? I love that. Gosh. Like, Donald Trump. Hope not. An expletive-laden clip. The rapper whose given name is Calvin Rodus Jr. is calling any stupid as he launches a scathing attack. So no, he did not. Trump. I was about to say. See, that's what those misleading clickbait titles are. Like, it's way worse. So I was like, wow. I thought he was like 70 something. But I mean, I think he's lived a pretty. If I. And it doesn't matter what he looks like. He's worth more than all of us put together. Full truth. This is our music nope. This is our music today, by the way. Spacey Lady. 3 hours of lo-fi beats to study. No copyright lo-fi hip-hop. This is Stomp's play. So, give it a like and a subscribe, because it costs me nothing and helps his channel. Hint, hint. cheers to your good health. The coffee and weed diet's working pretty well. I also do this thing where I only buy groceries once a month. And actually, today is my month day. I could go buy groceries today. It's been a month. I bought groceries. And the reason I do that is because I want to use everything that I purchased before buying new. So, like, I get more inventive about using my leftovers when there's nothing else in my house. And B, it controls my caloric intake at the beginning. Like, I can only buy so many calories. I'm only going to eat so many calories if I, so in a month period, you can level out your calories, and it seems to lose weight for me. I can add it up to that. Like, if I don't purchase more calories than I can possibly eat, I lose weight. Imagine that. Even when it's all crazy stuff, like I buy Hershey Kisses, I make cookies, make cakes, I make it for myself from the flour and sugar I bought. But I mean, like, I only buy a 5-pound bag of sugar once a month, and that's all I eat. Like, that seems like a lot, but it's not. If you really think about how much sugar the average American eats, that 5-pound bag of sugar is split between me and my mother. And oftentimes, I don't use the whole 5 pounds a month, even. But that's not that many calories if you think about how many calories is in a bag divided by a month. Works for me. Doesn't, obviously, talk about body transformation things. Ain't no way it works for everybody. Good God. I've tried every diet under the sun before I figured out that protein. That's all the key there is. I need more protein. You gotta do an 80-20 rule. I'm 80% protein, 20% carbs. But that's on the cutting phase. I probably changed that to like 60 times. And I really want to get Beachbody ready. I need to prove myself I can get to that 160. Not a destination. It's not where you are. You cannot run from your problem. And you can, but are you going to run your whole life? Might as well face it now. Been running from that. Being overweight is my own problem for my whole life. I get that from my parents, our enablers. We all love food. And it's probably why I smoke. Somebody has to have a vice, and I'd much rather smoke 0-calorie smoking. Whatever calorie food be eating. And I don't want to smoke cigarettes, because cigarettes. I tried vaping. Like, I bought a vape that has nothing in it but flavor, and you feel like an idiot. And they're like, oh, what are you smoking? Vaping? You're like, whatever. No, I'm just hanging out with the smokers, so I can be. No, I just have an oral fixation, so instead of eating, I'm sucking on this thing. Yep. You gotta recognize your own problems before you eat them. And then admit they're a problem. That's why I'm like, is video games my true addiction? When was the last time I went a month without playing a video? Probably never. Probably not since I got my first computer. Have I gone more? Like, I bought a laptop so I could take it with me so I could play computer game stuff after work when I'm traveling. What's my real addiction here? Because I don't know. I want to say that pot is not an addiction. Pot is a coping mechanism. But that's a deep thought, right? Like, these are all those therapy classes. Like, I at one point wanted to be a therapist. Started going to school, taking sociology, psychology. So I mean, I'm not certified, surely, but I have interest. And psychoanalyzing people is one of my favorite things. I've worked with people for nearly 20 years. I love to be able to just look at a person and tell them their whole story. Like, how did you do that? And I was like, people don't realize how much of your journey is represented by the way you move, talk, the way you dress, what you look at, what you don't look at, the way, like, what you initiate a conversation with versus what you end conversations with, like, all your inflections, like, everything you do is a tell about your story, about where you came from. And it's crazy how those things can just add up to your life story. Start to know what to look for. It's crazy. Crazy. Sociology, it's a very fun field of study in my personal opinion. Psychology was a little boring. Starting to get into the people who theorize why we think the things that we do, and you're like, these are all theories. Like, they've done experiments, but they're shaky at best. Coming from a scientific mind, like, I love chemistry, I love biology, I love the scientific method, and those science, like, when you're trying to do any kind of psychological experiment, you can measure, like, pupil eye dilation, breathing, and heart rate to kind of get, like, a person's true reaction to a lot of things, but people react differently to different stimuli, and it's hard to get a constant, and that's what you need to make science work, is to have that test group. And humans are all so different, and all think so different, that it's hard to get a test group. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're never gonna find the perfect test group in a psychological experiment. There's no to think. Although statistically speaking, my mother and I were talking about this yesterday. If there's 495 ish, I probably look at that. Keep using. I know there was a CRISPR thing where they looked up 495 of the genome sequences. So I want to say that's, and the number sounds right from school. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or put it in there. I think it's 495 of the chromosomes that comprise the DNA spiral. It might be 490, because I want to say it's pairs, so it's 496. So we had already discovered a few, or the AI discovered the 495 genomes and mapped them all. I remember I did that story like last week sometime. Anywho, I'll fail. Now I forgot where I was going with the story. Hear that? The train of thought derailed. Damn, I wish I could rewind my own stream. Oh, we were talking about how many possible pairs, like, because there's this guy that looks like Leonardo DiCaprio on YouTube under fake DiCaprio, and there's a guy who looks like Sam from, there's just people who look identical to celebrities now doing TikToks or YouTubes. And you're like, okay, so if there's only 495 pairs, like, if you times that, that gets you how many possible combinations of pairs there could be. So I mean, isn't it like, it's like 200,000 or something? So shouldn't there be 316? There's 8 billion people, give or take the math. There should be like 300 people that look like you, or on the planet, statistically, mathematically speaking. But then we got into the idea that, like, oh, you can't have a Chinese person because they are from, like, because geographic locations have specific genetic, like, characteristics because of the ancestry. So I mean, it wouldn't work because you're not going to get two white parents having a baby in China. So like the skews, it skews the math to a potential, like, somebody with calculus background could probably tell you against the curve how many, like, what the birth, you'd have to get the birth rate and like the percentage of population, geographic location. I mean, you could probably mathematically figure out how many people would look like you. But I'm gonna have to go at least one. You should expect there to be at least one person with your same genetic makeup. Now, that same thing being said, does your genetic makeup solely make who you are and what you look like? I mean, like, if I've had dental work done, that could affect the shape of my face. If I've, had a motorcycle accident and had to have facial reconstruction surgery, that could have fix, change the shape of my whole face. Whereas the other person might not have had the same life circumstances to make me look like they are. So I mean, like, the odds of a person into their late life looking the same seems so much lower than somebody in their younger life. And is that not why all babies kind of look the same? Here's your deep thought. It's what, Tuesday? Day, April 2020. Sure. Welcome to the past. Woo! We're funny. We're funny in the past. Don't forget, in the post-apocalyptic world, when you're like watching this in a museum one day, being like, wow, the ancients were so weird. Know that that is an accurate assessment. Isn't that weird to think that everything that we've put here could one day end up in some museum? It's because the way technology works. It'll be out there forever. Like, it's on the internet, it's on a server, it could be maintained on somebody's flash drive, it's shareable, it's repostable, it's embeddable. You could put this in any number of places that might turn up archaeological dig 1,000 years. Deep thoughts for this Wednesday morning. I'm loving the music. Alright, so it's getting past our hour. That time has come, my friends, to revisit our affirmation generator. See things? I am building my future. Don't forget, every step you take in the right direction is a good step. Every step you take in the wrong direction is still a step taken. Sometimes you have to take a step back for perspective. So, have a good day. Be kind to one another, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.